This dresser was bought for our son a little over 2 years ago, back when we revamped his entire room. At that time, everything felt brand new, solid, and perfectly fine. Fast forward to recently, and one of the drawers finally gave out. One day he tried to open it, and instead of sliding smoothly, it felt loose, like the whole thing was about to fall apart. That's when I knew something wasn't right. The issue turned out to be a stripped screw hole in the dresser frame. The screw holding the drawer slide simply wasn't grabbing the wood anymore. But as I kept inspecting the drawer, I noticed something else that didn't make sense. One of the wooden support pieces inside the dresser looked off. It wasn't sitting the way it should have been, and that's when it hit me. This wasn't a new problem at all. When I originally installed the dresser over 2 years ago, I must have put that piece in incorrectly. Somehow, it stayed in place because it was such a tight fit. Everything worked until it didn't. Honestly, I can't imagine how his clothes weren't getting caught every time he opened that drawer. It's kind of amazing it lasted as long as it did. So instead of forcing a quick fix, I decided to take the dresser apart to really understand what was going on. Once I removed one side of the panel, the problem became obvious. The wooden piece wasn't broken. It had simply been installed the wrong way from the start. Thankfully, that part was an easy fix. I removed the piece completely, repositioned it correctly, and reattached everything using screws and a hammer to secure it properly. Once that was done, the frame felt solid again. That solved one issue, but the stripped screw hole was still a problem. Since the original screw had nothing to grab onto, I knew forcing in a bigger screw would only make things worse. Instead, I reinforced the hole. I found a wooden dowel slightly larger than the stripped hole and cut a small piece to fit snugly inside the frame. Nothing fancy, just something strong enough to restore the wood. I added wood glue directly into the stripped hole, pushed the dowel in, and let it dry overnight so it could fully bond. The next day, after the glue had completely dried, I used a drill bit to pre-drill the hole. This step is really important. It helps prevent the wood from splitting and allows the screw to grip properly. I also used a sharper, pointier screw first to create a clean path before putting the original screw back in. After testing it and feeling how solid it was, I reattached the drawer slides. This time, the screws went in tight. The slides were secure and the drawer felt sturdy, almost like new again. At the end of the day, this wasn't a fancy repair. There were no special tools or expensive replacement parts involved, but it worked. And more importantly, it saved us from replacing an entire dresser over something that turned out to be a simple fix. Sometimes it's easy to think furniture is disposable, but a little patience and a small repair can make it last a lot longer. If you're dealing with loose drawers, stripped screw holes, or furniture that feels like it's falling apart, I hope this video gives you the confidence to try fixing it yourself. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you've ever repaired something you almost threw away. Now, on to the next project, one fix at a time.